tail. You see it moving? Okay. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to open up the shade. Can anybody tell me where in the hell did the tree and the bird go? Like, it's a tree over here, but there's no fucking bird on that. It's not. But when I close it, you see it just flew away. And now, what the hell? From the alpha omega itself. So not just the spirit, the source energy, but also, you know, whether it's passed over loved ones, I'm a medium. I speak to other beings as well. So whatever energy they are bringing to me, I usually feel it first before they start to discern it, and I get to decipher it. And when we sit down to read, they start to bring back bits and pieces of the experience so that I can tune into that and they turn it into the message. So they bring it to me, and then the cards just confirm what they've already said.
So did you always have this gift?
I've had an awareness of a number of gifts. One of them is the ability to see time. So I see time in like a roll of film, if that makes sense. You know how like an old school roll of film looks. So I can see blocks of time. I can meet people and know whether I've known them or not. And I can feel like their soul energy, if that makes sense. Like, dang, you ever met a person that feels like deja vu-ish? Like, I feel like I've known you before. So that type of energy, I've dreamt of people and been able to tell whether or not there's somebody that is in our life or who they're connected to. So I've always had that gift. I've always felt odd and talked to spirits, or what I call like shadow energy. I used to do it when I was a kid, and always felt different in between wavelengths, never on the same playing field with everybody else. I just always saw the world different. But it took after I transitioned and came back that I really understood the gift of mediumship, and everything just kind of exploded from there. Well, everything else did.
Transitioned and came back. What do you mean by that?
So I died.
You died and you came back.
Yeah.
So basically, when you died, like, what did you see when you passed away?
I felt engulfed in a darkness, but it felt like I felt the presence of all others, if that makes sense. Kind of felt like we were just all present. I knew I wasn't alone, right? I felt surrounded, but I was still conscious, very much able to think and notice like things from the 3D realm that were not there in the spiritual realm, if that makes sense. So I knew that there was no breath, like I wasn't breathing. I could feel that there was no physicality, that we were, I don't know, it's just kind of like a, gosh, how do I explain it, spirit? It felt like just like suspended in this space outside of everything else. It wasn't the thing that people say, like, oh, I went through this tunnel and I just saw a light and I entered in. No, It was very, it definitely was not that. I did not see no lake of fire or anything like that. I just really felt engulfed in all things. We felt connected, and I knew I wasn't alone. I was wrapped around everything and everybody, kind of like centered in this massive presence of energy, if that makes sense. And I kept thinking, where is the Most High? Like, I want to see the Most High. Like, where is the Most High? And then all of a sudden I saw a light come, and then I was breathing, felt breath return, and I was back in the land of the living. So that really formulated my mindset. But, you know, when people say, oh, I've seen the light, or they come into the light, it's the portal to reincarnation back into the flesh, to to sit and rest in the spirit is to be engulfed in like it's giving like the eternal darkness because there is no light in that space.
Oh wow.
Not that in my experience.
Well, that's actually lit though. That's so with that said, like when you talk about the most high, now
Mhm.
that you've transitioned, what do you believe the most high is?
Eternal source energy of all things is consciousness itself.
Okay, interesting. So like say if would you say like you astral project too? Would that be a form of astral projection?
No, astral projection was different. I do astral project. I can, come outside of the physical and feel that separation from body and spirit. Spirit guides will take me to go see things like fly through the cosmos. And this is not like no mushroom trip or nothing like that. This is, just the ability to have the guides take you through the cosmos. You can access it through deep meditation and allowing yourself to completely surrender where I don't know if you meditated so deeply, you almost feel like the further you go down into yourself, the more you expand outside of yourself, where you get
Mm.
the deeper you go, the bigger you get, is what I'm trying to say. And the further out you go by going in. No, yeah, it's really just that, but like a step further where consciously you meditated so deeply that you allow the spirit guides to take you outside of the self, separate you from the physical body and go through and it was given fly in the cosmos. I could see gaseous bodies of clouds where they look like different galaxies, different solar systems, kind of just like weaving and flying through the space, through the cosmos.
Interesting. So like one thing that I do talk about is meditation because I want to learn how to meditate correctly. What's one advice you can give me to make me meditate like correctly, I guess?
It's really not a correct way to do it. It's what's comfortable for you. Some people can't meditate in quiet because their mind gets to going, right? And then you can't settle the mind enough in order to relax. So some people do use music. It could be running water, like sounds of nature that help you, anything that helps you calm the mind down so that you can relax the thought process. And sometimes people I don't know. I don't feel like that's meditation though. I've heard other people say that they're spiritualists where it's like, oh, your mind can think and you can just kind of let the thoughts flow. But to pull yourself into a space where your mind calms down, you are breathing deeply, is definitely a rhythm to it, allowing yourself to take deep, full breaths, exhale all that energy out and feeling that rhythm. And you kind of go into a space where, again, everything starts to calm all the way down and you start to sink within yourself. It's the ability to go in and then it's just deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's the practice of whether you are, like I said, if you can do it without music, if you are in a dark space where your eyes are closed, if you look up and you find a space like on the wall that you kind of focus on. So it's a lot of different techniques. It's just figuring out which is the method that helps you just calm your mind down. Because that's the first step is being able to calm the mind, calm the body, and bring yourself into a rhythmic breathing pattern so you can allow the system to relax.
Okay, interesting, interesting. So you say you have like you see a lot of spirits and like you see
Mhm.
certain so you don't get scared when you see a spirit that don't agree with you?
It is I mean, it's not, I don't get scared because I see orbs, I can see flashes of light. Those are physical
Mhm.
things that I can see. The gift that used to bother me probably was clairtangent, where I can feel the physical touch, of a spirit. So they will touch me, my spirit team they'll come and give me a kiss, you know what I mean? I'll get hugs, stuff like that. It's those types of things when you can feel the physical presence of something that is not physically there. That was a little bit jarring. It took some getting used to, but for the most part, I find it comforting. I have, a sister that transitioned over, and I was able to dance with her not too soon after, not too soon, but shortly after her passing. So to know that she was still present with me and that I can experience her in my waking life was comforting. It made the grieving process a lot easier.
So that's actually dope. It's very interesting because like when me myself, if I see a spirit, I'm just running away. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna take it. But with that said, are you more comfortable with the spirits that no one else can see compared to the people that you can see?
Am I more comfortable with
Like the
unbodied energy versus bodied
yes,
energies?
yes,
I would have to say unbodied. I would have to say
unbodied.
unbodied. Um, I
That's
can get overwhelmed by bodied people because a lot of people don't show their true intention, right? So if I feel the energy of them that's telling me one thing and what my guides are telling me about this person is something different versus what they're presenting and what they're saying to me, right? Then it presents the conflict. So from that space, I have to be very particular and discerning about who I connect to.
interesting. So
Yeah,
do you think people will look at you as I say different? I'm not gonna say weird. I'm not gonna say
it's
crazy and all
okay.
that.
I get it
But
all. There's pretty
yeah,
much nothing that you could say. Yeah.
so yeah, so like would you get that a lot when like you talk the way you talk? Because you seem like you're very intelligent, you seem like you know what you're talking about and all that. But a lot of people are not gonna understand because they're in a certain religion or they're in a certain group that's
Mhm.
telling them that whatever you're talking about is wrong. So how often do you get that from people?
Oh, I can't even tell you. I don't think I got called a witch openly today, so that was good.
Not today, yesterday.
Not today.
Probably
Not today.
tomorrow.
But we get it all. I mean, it's just a product of religious persecution, is what I call it. And I like to especially Christians, like people who are indoctrinated into that religion or theology itself. And if they're an extremist, then they are usually the ones that do it the most. I don't get it from people who practice any other religion, whether it's Buddhism or if they're, Shiva or Krishna or whatever the case may be, right? It's only from Christians because they feel like their theism is the only one. Like that's it. And so when they come from that extreme mindset, I tend to speak to them in their language and remind them of what their doctrine says. They don't always like it. And if I'm really in a mood, I could ask them questions that I know they can't answer, or I can just tell them where they can go.
You can go straight to hell. I rock with that though, because I personally think Christians are in a cult. It's like a cult like
It
mindset
is.
and all
It
that.
is.
So
It
that's
is.
so that's why I had to get out of it simply because I didn't want to be one-minded because Christians they expect everything to revolve around them basically. To the
Yeah.
point where it's gonna be hard to talk to them no matter what the situation is.
Yeah.
But when it comes to witches and all that, would you consider yourself a witch, or is it something just to frown upon?
Okay. I'll step back and I always change the word from WITCH to WHICH. And so I always ask the question, which craft are you using? Everything that you're doing, you're crafting something, right? So if I'm cooking a meal, that itself is a craft, is, culinary craft, right? If I'm an artist, I'm painting. So just because I choose to, not only do they channel the gift, the message, so we bring that through, right? So that's just inspired by the divine, right? That would be like no any other prophecy or another seer, right? A person that can prophesy or see. But as soon as I touch the cards, then it becomes a different thing. They don't like this medium, right? And
Mhm.
so I always ask them, well, if you can use any other utensil to facilitate a craft, right? You can put together a salad, but you can rip the lettuce with your hands. But is it wrong to pick up a knife and cut the lettuce up? Is the knife now something that is to be demonized? No. So why would the cards be any different? So I kind of flip the conversation in that manner. So it makes them think about it. But do I consider myself a witch in that way, like a WITCH? Absolutely not. I mean, I could just take the negative connotative nature out of the word because we understand why it was a crusade against people who had spiritual gifts. A lot of them were women. Some of them had spiritual gifts and some didn't. They just were women who had property or land, and somebody could call them that in order to steal their possessions and their assets. So it just comes from a place of misunderstanding and ignorance.
Right, right. I
Yeah,
definitely agree because I always tell people, like say Christians, I always tell them that they're practicing witchcraft too.
yeah,
Because if they're saying like if they're telling a non-believer that they'll pray for them, that's a form of witchcraft because they don't believe in whatever
it's power.
belief they have. Yeah, so basically I tell like just like how you were saying, it's variations of it. Like it's a whole like it's a bunch of categories that can be deemed as witchcraft. They just want to use that form to make you feel bad about what you believe in.
Yeah,
So I definitely feel what you're saying, basically. So how about Reiki? I've always wanted to study Reiki. I've always
energy
wanted to like,
healing. Yeah,
yeah, like, and Christians don't even realize that Jesus studied Reiki if they wanna get deep into
yeah,
it. And
yeah.
but like, do you practice Reiki and like how did that work?
We actually just had a conversation about Reiki on the show very recently. The Tears of We Tarot show, if anybody's interested in checking it out. But the ability to use your hands to generate the healing energy by rubbing them together. And when people talk about laying hands in the church, what they're talking about is the practice of Reiki. That is exactly what it is. They just use a different term. They say laying hands versus saying Reiki, but it is the same thing, right? So, yes, you can, and you can do it in proximity. I can be close to you. I can actually touch you. I can hover my hands over the body and not touch you. And people do it remotely. Now, I am a little bit biased about remote Reiki, right? I know that it works, but to be in close proximity to a person and rub my hands over the body because I can feel energetically where you have a disturbance. And then I know where to focus the energy at. But you can perform energy healing on yourself. Like if you think about Karate Kid when Mr. Miyagi did that with Daniel's son, right? When he put his hands together and he rubbed it, right? He got the heat, and then he laid his hands and rub that out. It's the same thing. You generate healing life force in your hands and you are able to transmit and emit that energy onto another person.
What is happening here?
You will see when I touch her where she will go. Watch. She will show you the husband. Watch. It won't end here. You will see her going. So that you understand what we are doing here. Can you see where she's going? Watch. Just watch. See. Watch. Let me count 3. You see. 1, 2. Now she will go down. 3. Can you see? Watch, watch. You see it? You are in trouble.
That's exactly what they were displaying.
Facts, facts. So
Yeah.
you seem interesting. You seem very interesting. But what's the most interesting thing about you right now?
You asking us what we think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess the gift. I guess just the way that we experience life in general. Because we always say us because I'm never alone. I know that I'm multi-spirited. Like the essence of what we are is a combination of the collective all that lives in all of us. So I think the most interesting thing would be just the way that we experience life and in the revelation that we have about life. It's way different than what it's very hard to talk to people about it because sometimes it feels like, they don't get it, they don't understand it. So I think that's pretty much it. It's the way that we see everything. We see everything as energy of the source. We are all it in every variation, every type, every pixel. We're just pixelated pieces of the same thing. I am you, you are me. We are all the same thing.
Interesting, interesting. So
Mhm.
I might as well tell you something about me because I feel spiritually down.
Mhm.
How do I get my spirits back up when it comes to like understanding my own body and my own spirit or whoever surrounded me?
Coming into alignment with self, right? Is what
Mhm.
I hear from you. I just want to make sure that I'm hearing that right.
Well, yeah, just me being spiritually down, as in like I feel like something that I'm doing is progressing, but is at a pause. So I'm not sure like what I'm doing wrong within myself, basically. And I don't want to just shut myself down or whatever because it's not going fast enough, or because I don't have like the spirit to keep forward with it.
One, patience. That's the principle, right? Don't rush your process. Trust it, right? What you feel like is something that may be off or decentered, right? That could be a place for you to dig into and start to work on healing it. The first place I would say is to ground yourself, right? I don't know how connected you are to nature or what element you feel drawn to. Some people feel drawn to water. Some people are drawn to the earth itself, like they like to garden or just put their hands in the dirt, drawn to yard work. Some people are drawn to fire. Some people just like to sit and, breathe, go outside. I just got to get some fresh air, people like that. So figure out what elements you are drawn to and start to work with that element to ground yourself. I don't know why I was getting ready to say ground. Do you feel overwhelmed with something or just overwhelmed with the process?
Well, I personally, I feel like I do feel overwhelmed actually.
Okay.
Like I feel like I'm doing certain stuff that's beneficial to me, but I have to put it on pause because I have to deal with a lot of other things
Mm-hmm.
that's not aligned with me, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
like, how do I get in touch with like my spirit guides or like certain stuff to teach me how to um go for my goal? I guess. Hold on, you put
Well,
it.
you're already in touch, right? Sometimes when we're not grounded, we may not be able to hear or to feel how they are speaking to you. You already alluded to the fact that you get nervous if you were to see a spirit or if they were to give a physical representation that they're with you. So they may not speak to you in that way because they know that you're not comfortable, right? So when you come into a place within yourself to allow yourself to be open to those different forms of information, they will start to walk you through it. They may show you signs first. They may have you look up at something and you keep seeing a certain number. You catch the clock and it's at 11:21. You know what I mean? Every time you look at the clock, it's 11:21. They might be telling you something about that number. And so when you go look it up, what does this number mean? It may resonate with you with something that's going on within you or around you that they want you to be aware of. So when you start
Mhm.
to allow yourself to receive the messages in various different ways, then they'll start to step you up in how they communicate with you. But they're always with you. You're never disconnected.
Mm.
You are always tethered. Sometimes it's just
Oh,
a feeling of safety.
nice, nice. So how
Mhm.
do I know who's for me and who's against me when it comes to who's around me?
Um, I always start with everything works towards the good, even if it's the energy that I feel like is unpleasant. I cleanse the space one, and then I always practice the mantra of saying, only grateful hearts, only helpful spirits, coming in truth and clarity. You state the proclamation and you command who's in your space, right? And you tell them if they are not here to help to assist in your ascension, right, then they must flee. And sometimes, depending on who's here or the reason why they're here, like I feel an energetic disturbance. I was saying that at the start of the interview, but I know that that energy is allowed to be in the space so I can deliver a message. And then when I clear the space, then it will flee. I can feel the release of that energy, right? But I just have to remind myself that I'm safe no matter what's around me. There's nowhere I can go, right? Either way, if I'm in the physical or if I'm back into my natural essence, which is just the spiritual, I'm still held within creation itself. There's nowhere that I can go. So I know that I'm safe no matter what's around.
Oh, interesting. Yo, you are very interesting. Like, so, okay, so is there any message that they're telling you right now?
In regards to what I'm getting from this exchange or from for
Yes,
you,
yes. For like just the energy that's around you at the moment or whatever. Is there any messages that they're telling you that you can let out? I'm not saying let everybody know what's going on. I'm just saying in general, is there anything that you can express?
the biggest thing that I'm hearing and that I'm feeling is like what we were just touching on is that safety is key, right? We live in a 3D world where they use illusion of fear to control people. And when we ground ourselves and understand that this 3D plane, this earth school that we're in, it's all about, well, it's a couple of things you could be doing. Growth in, soul ascension, right? Could be affecting energy and vibration, tuning the frequency of Gaia itself so that she comes back to balance and healing so she can do what she continues to do to be this school. We're not the only types of beings here, as we know, right? There's other light beings that are unbodied energies that are with us that are not just necessarily transitioned over to the other side. They're just here. They exist in other forms. We're not alone. Um, and when we connect and understand that we are spiritual, but also um, earthly beings that have this beautiful ability to co-create our reality and that you are safe. And when we start operating from a sense of safety and security, then we don't feel the need to hoard. We don't feel the need to harm. We can do the things that we came to do, which is create this space of heaven. Like, you know what I mean? Like how they say a part of the job is to create heaven here on earth. Well, it takes you to be safe in order to do it. Because when you're afraid, then you want to control. And it is the systems of control that is causing the most harm. You know, it's the ability to be free, to be sovereign, to create, to create beauty. And you can do that from anything. There's always chaos, but we have the ability to order the you don't want to say that. They're saying order the mess, not just chaos. We get to clean up the mess. We get to order it. We do.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I don't want to hold you. I love the way you talk and all that. But I do have a question with this.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of people that go through schizophrenia right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But would you say they're like just channeling their gift the wrong way if they're calling it schizophrenia?
I would say a couple of things in the DSM, like in terms of psychology, are more in line with spiritual gifts than not. Because everything that you see and experience is not going to be on a high vibrational frequency. Some people see very low vibrational things. Again, other types of entities and beings, they could be a person that sees death, they could see calamity. You know what I mean? And so being a seer and having gifts isn't always like the thing that people is like trending, right? But it's not just that, right? So people who can see death and who can see other entities, if you express that to a physician and they send you to a psychologist, they are going to diagnose you with something. And we're not saying that, psychosis doesn't exist. It does. But oftentimes they're not. People who are schizophrenic just experience a darker gift. It's a gift that they see the lower vibration things.
That's crazy because, like, how can somebody tell the difference if it's like whether it's schizophrenia or if it's like an actual gift that they have. But if they see the physician or if they see the doctor and they're not used to seeing these spirits or it's like channeling, they're gonna
Mhm.
look at it as it's anyway. Because like I said with me, I might get scared right then and there if I see a bunch of spirits or whatever, to a point where I might have to see a doctor because I want them to diagnose me with something. Because it's so unreal for me.
Now, for us, I can say, because somebody could say, oh, she's schizophrenic. She sees ghosts, she feels a presence, and these things are not actually happening, right? But one of the reasons why we were drawn to the medium of cards is I can tell you something, I can say it. And then when a card comes out to show you exactly what I just said, then now you have the proof. Generally, that gift shows itself to be true, right? The message comes to you, it shows you, and it verifies itself against something else, if that makes sense.
Nah, I rock with it. I totally rock with it
Yeah.
100%.
And that's
100%.
exactly why we were called to do it this way. Because a lot of people, which is why I kind of take calls with some people in the church and how they say that you can prophesy, but I don't know if this person is experiencing a true gift. I don't know if they're just teaching something that was taught to them and they cherry pick scripture and make people feel a kind of way because they are a good orator or they can emote a feeling or pull that out, right? That itself is a gift. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that they're telling me the truth. So if I get a message and it comes up and they speak it first, I think you showed one of the clips where I was saying one of these small examples where they told me to say something. I'm like, this equals this, and this is what I'm saying. And then the next card comes up, or the card that's in my hand that I hadn't looked at it yet,
Yeah.
right? It's exactly what they're telling me to say. So when I show it, that gives the person who's listening, not only myself first and foremost, and what they told me was true, but the person that had the ears to hear and then the eyes to see also see the proof of truth. So it's a thing with it being affirmed. If it never
Interesting.
affirms itself, then you know it could be something else.
Nice. So are you gonna do it tonight, today, or
Yeah,
whatever?
what would you like? Since we were talking about vibration and frequency,
Okay.
you want to ring the bell. So I don't know. Hopefully this is not too loud for your listeners. I'm getting something on somebody's solar plexus. That's like the place of willpower where you understand that you have the power, like we said, to co-create, to make. Sacral chakra is relative to your ability to have creative ideas, like infinite possibilities, infinite potentiality. But then the knowingness that you can create these things and having the willpower, the discipline to be able to do it is the thing. So let's see, what are they giving us? Your mind is an altar to source energy. And that's exactly what we talked about, right?
Facts.
We talked about consciousness. We talked about source is the energy of all things, right? Like we are all it is us. You can never be separate.
Interesting.
Another one? No, anything else? Yes. So just so happened they pulled this deck, they pulled this card, and the one they told me to get, the first card is source energy.
Interesting.
So it's like when you start to feel it and your intuition is talking to you, it's guiding you to look at something. Look at that. Again, 11:21, 11:22. Why do every time I look at the clock, it's 11:21? You know what I mean? Like it's a message for you. They will tell you where to look, where to go. You just have to be able to allow them to bring it. So it says, I, the boundless source of all creation, flow through you as a river of light, raising your vibration to the frequency of divine oneness. And when I was on the other side, that's what I felt. I felt oneness, and I was aware of everything else. It felt like if you were a piece in a puzzle, but that one piece could feel that it was connected to the whole puzzle and all the other pieces that were there with it. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the illustration that's coming through to how to explain it. So let's see. Information. See, what information are they trying to bring you? Right? They can tell it to you in I'm hearing enumerated, so I don't know if it's something about your number that's coming through. And I don't know why I'm seeing 1121, and now I'm also seeing 1122. So I don't know what that is. We do see
Mm.
prosperity and beautiful. So it's like thinking about self, understanding who you are. Yeah, I honor the beauty of my physical form, recognizing that I am truly beautiful inside and out. So that's coming through. Information.
Oh,
Want me to read this last one?
okay, sure. Yeah.
I am connected to the cosmic web of wisdom, discovering knowledge and information in perfect flow and timing. So I'm getting just let them walk you through it. Like, don't rush, trust the process, like we were saying, right? Allow them
Mm.
to take you at your own pace. You're on your own journey. It's your own race. It's not comparative to anybody else's. And you're going to get there exactly when you're supposed to get there.
So, oh, okay, that sounds wild, dope. Because for one, I was talking about my mind and my body today, like just recently, and all. And I
Um,
was telling people like how like I grew up being an attractive person, but that wasn't enough. So I had to like grow my mind because I have to like basically like my looks and my body, whatever. I'm not saying that I'm an attractive person, but that's what I was known for.
mhm,
But like the more I realized like my body wasn't gonna get me anywhere, or my looks wasn't gonna get me anywhere, I started growing my mind a lot. Like I started like focusing on reading and traveling and all that. So something that you said actually did make a lot of sense, especially with the whole puzzle piece as well. Because like I have like I'm trying to grow my own organization or whatever, like and I'm trying to put like everybody together, bring everybody together and all that. So
mhm.
that's like something that's very deep when you were talking about it basically. So
Oh,
maybe that go hand in hand with what you were talking about, the puzzle piece. And I am
yeah.
like the person that's bringing everybody together, not even
Mhm.
trying to bring everybody like into one and helping us grow and all that. So
And all the pieces have to fit, right? In order for, and it's almost given like, I don't know if you, what movie was that? It was a movie, and the kid would put the puzzle pieces together upside down. I'm not for sure what movie it was, but it was a child that I think they were considered them autistic or something like that, which is a person that to me is also like a person that has spiritual gifts. Most autistic children have gifts, right? But they would put the pieces together like upside down where you couldn't see what was on the other side. And it was a thing about understanding what was the right fit. And if you put it together on a glass table, but then you look underneath from a different perspective, you see the picture that was put together. That's how
interesting.
yeah, that's how I feel about creation. It's like a tapestry that's woven. And on one side, it looks messy because you can't see the other side or pull back far enough to get the full picture of all of it. You know what I mean? You have to change the perspective in how you look at it.
That's okay. So with that said, I'm sorry. Like it's very interesting. Like the stuff that you're doing is very interesting. Like what's one movie that like kind of gave you the best message, the biggest message?
I love kids movies, but
Okay,
aside children's movies, I am a huge Matrix fan.
I never
I
watched.
You've never, oh my goodness. I watch it at least 2 times a year. I watch all four of them, right? And I have to do
Me
them
too.
in order. Yeah.
Listen,
Um,
interesting.
and it's weird because when you pay attention to the movie, they kind of pattern it after the Christian theology, but they really, it's like a different meaning that I get out of it. Right. They look at Neo as being the one, like the resurrection or the one that would come and save everybody and free them from the matrix. And when you watch the movie, you'll get it. You'll see the references. But
Mhm.
at the same time, it gives us the understanding that we are co-creators of our own reality when we get to the end of the series. It's two people, Neo and Trinity, and Trinity and Neo together, the divine masculine, divine alpha, divine feminine, divine masculine, omega energy, the beginning and the ending. And they have the ability to come together to recreate and co-create reality. And that's what this is, like co-creation. Right. And when you When you understand that between what you think, how you feel, your intentions, and your actions, you create your own reality. And then everything that comes to you is a gift. And that's what I was saying. Even if it's something that feels low vibrational, we need the negative and we need the positive. It's balance, right? You just take the negative and you alchemize it. You use it to fuel your future, your prosperity. You just flip it.
Yo, I love this conversation though. Like I'm learning a whole lot from. I'm like seriously learning a whole lot from you. I really am, but I forgot I am cooking too.
Oh, okay. I know you said you're on a time limit, but if you
No,
ever,
but I love it. I love it.
I'll leave you this with this one thing. So
Okay.
a famous scene from The Matrix is Lawrence Fishburne, who is playing Morpheus, right? Kind of like the person that's looking for the one. He always says that these systems of control are trying to reduce people down to a battery. They want to siphon out your energy or use your energy. But when you pay attention to a battery, on one side is the negative and the other side is the positive.
Facts.
You cannot do anything without polarity. So
Okay, so what about the people that's actually trying to hold you back? You saying that they're beneficial too?
absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. How does a
Ah,
diamond become without pressure?
oh, that makes so much sense. Yo, we gotta have a part two. We gotta have a part two. I'm sorry. We have to.
I'm
But
down for it.
yeah, like okay, pressure. Okay, well, yeah, I definitely enjoyed it because now I have to watch that movie. I definitely have to
Yes.
watch because you said his name was Morpheus, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
okay, so I gotta see if it's on Netflix. 'Cause I haven't watched the movie in a while. I have not
And the
watched.
whole premise is to free your mind. Because if they can trap your mind, then they trap you. It's just a system of fear that wants to lock down your mind.
Okay, I might be asking too many questions, but so
It's a,
say if you're free in your mind,
mhm,
everything, but somebody's trying to hold you back, but you're not allowing it to happen.
mhm.
Are you kind of going against what the universe is trying to bring to you? If you're not allowing that person to do his job.
Well, it just depends. I mean, because we're going to have to fight through resistance, right? You think about anything, any seed that's planted in the ground, the roots are growing down. It has to grow through the resistance of the dirt in order to root itself. In order for the plant to sprout, it has to grow up through resistance to break ground. So either way, you grow through the resistance. It's just a part of the growth process. That's why I was saying trust it.
Interesting. Okay. When will you be available again?
Just hit me up. We'll align schedules. It'll work out.
Uh,
Out.
no, I definitely appreciate your time, and I'm gonna let you know because I'm not even sure if I have to edit anything because you just flow with it. I know I've been stuttering a lot, but I have a speech impediment, so it is what it is.
It is
But
what it is. Yes.
but I enjoyed it. I loved it basically, and I hope I can have another conversation with you. So
Yes, absolutely. We will do it again. I enjoyed it. It was a good time.
appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you, brother.